please let it be wearable outside. Good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. It's about time we finally get into making something that has a pattern. I feel like this is going to be a lot more fun. I hope anyway, because the pattern's already made. I don't have to draft anything. I think I just have to basically double check and make sure like it'll fit me. So I think I'm going to use the basic bodice block as like a tool, more like, just to make sure everything fits. I decided, well, mainly my sheets decided for me because I have these linen sheets that I loved into the ground, and now that there's a hole in them. Past me would have been devastated. Current me just sees possibility because I'm like, wow, that's a lot of fabric. As you can see in like the very middle of it, it's a little worse for wear, but we can work around that. We can work around it, you know? The dress I'm going to be making is like a cute little boat neck dress. I actually own a dress like this already, so I know I'll love it. My only goal for this is to make something that I can wear out in public. That's literally it. I feel like that's not a tall order, you know, but everything else that I've made are basically pajamas. But yeah, so let's go ahead and print out the pattern and get to taping her together, you know.
Opens of two Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton, having a conversation. And a whole bunch of women who look like the prophet being kept in cages down here, right on death's door, because it's easier to control people who are vulnerable. There's some cool stuff here that's been set up since.
Had to take a little bit of a break. I mean, this is kind of going well, so I'm a little suspicious. One thing I've definitely noticed is I need to do a lining. I really got to learn how to do a lining because, sorry, I'm like losing my voice for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. I cut out the first round, if you will. Every single time I was like, wow, this is incredibly thin. I found a tutorial by Sew Anastasia, and she kind of like walks through how to do that, and she also walks through how to put in the invisible zipper with a lining. I forgot that this has a zipper. So now I have to basically do it all again and recut everything. Good thing my bed sheets are for a queen because I'm a little nervous that I'm gonna run out of fabric. It's super late right now. It's like 10:19, which is just late for me. I'm usually in bed by like 9. I'm just gonna stay up and try to cut everything tonight and then sew it up tomorrow. That's kind of the goal so far. I think I can do it. How long did it take me to cut that out, I wonder? Maybe like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, because I had to go like super slow, but I think I'm getting more and more confident with using the router. Is that what it's called? Why does that not sound right to my ears? Router. Rotary. Oh my god. To be fair, it's really late. I'm going to get back into it here in a second. I'm going to take, I think, maybe 2 more bites of this. And then get back into cutting this bad boy out because I think it's going to take a minute. Problem. Problem. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know what to do. I've already cut this and a lining. Look at that. That looks awful. It's off my shoulder. Ah, crap. I should have did a mock-up. I should have done a mock-up. I was too worried about the boobs. Didn't realize that maybe the neckline wouldn't quite work. How bad does it look from the back? Does it look bad? I can't tell. I feel like it probably looks bad, huh? Okay, update. If I were to move the arms like where they should be placed, I get this gapping stitch. I was brainstorming with my mom, and she was like, "Oh, can't you just make it a dart?" That's silly, silly woman. No, you can't make it just a dot. I have a dot right here in the middle. I got a dot right here. But that did make me think, oh, wait, can't I just like mark out however much this is and then just kind of manipulate it into this line, this little princess line, kind of like how we did on the last dress that had all the darts and stuff? That might be the fix. That might be the fix. So we're gonna pinch this out and then seam rip. Fixed it. So much better. Party in the front, embarrassing in the back. But that, oh, so much better. So much better. Okay, now crash out's over. I can probably, I think sew up the sides is next. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna find out. I definitely need to do mock-ups moving forward because this almost turned into a complete disaster and I ran out of fabric, which is why there's like a weird delineation between the colors here. This is actually from the same set, but it's the pillowcases. So obviously they're not as worn down as the actual bed sheet. C'est la vie. But anyway, on to the next step. Just kidding. There's a back seam that's directly in the center, in center back. So I can just take whatever is gapping from that. And it ended up being about 1.5 centimeters. So here is my new back piece. Ta-da! I am going to go through and fix that on the lining. So that means another round of seam ripping. Good morning. Okay, it's the next day. I have like 30-ish roughly minutes before I need to leave the house for a friend's birthday. But I'm really nervous for this next part. So like I just gotta like push through it. Last night I finished sewing up the lining of the top and the shell of my skirt. And I decided to go with a full lining because so I learned something. I learned that there's a difference between facing and aligning. This original pattern had me facing like the top part, like the neckline and stuff. But since I decided to line the entire thing, kind of negates that. So that like one like crazy little Tetris looking piece, like the ones that ended up looking like this bit that had to have the infusible interfacing, I don't need them anymore because I'm just lining the entire thing. Cool. I ran into another little snag is, I don't know, the sewing instructions are kind of weird because half of it acts as if like the zipper is like up the back and then the other part acts like the zipper is down the side. So I don't know what's going on. The pattern is treating it as if the zipper is down the side. So that's what I'm going with because obviously that's how it's shown on there. So I don't know how this is going to work out. And I've never sewn a zipper into like an actual piece of clothing. So I'm kind of scared. I'm not super confident, but like every time that I am like really nervous like that, it ends up working out fine. So I'm sure everything will be fine. I'm just being dramatic, but yeah. Zipper is on the wrong side. Moment of truth. I don't think it worked. Shoot. Oh, just kidding. I got it, I think. It's just a little bad. It still didn't work. I keep having this issue misaligned like none other. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew up the sides all the way, and then I'm gonna move the zipper from the side to the center back. I also read on Google that you can, like the reason why it might be misaligning like that is because the fabric is stretching too much, and they recommend to stabilize the fabric. So now I have to figure out how to do that. This is not going well. This is not going well. I thought it was gonna be a lot easier. And the more I'm like manipulating the fabric, the more I'm realizing I kind of hate the color because it's like a charcoal gray, and I prefer it to be actually the black of the like the front piece, like the really dark part where it's like a, see how it's like a darker black here? I think I'm also going to like maybe re-dye it. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like dyeing it black, like just get a little old-fashioned Rit dye. But this is a bummer. This is like my 4th day working on it, and it's like not working. The more I seam rip it, the more it's like fraying apart and is like getting more and more difficult to re-sew it. So I don't know if maybe if I stabilize the sides of it, maybe that will like help a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm a little at a loss. Yeah, it's like already 9 o'clock almost, so I think that's it for today, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I still have to eat supper, and then I'm gonna go to bed because if I keep looking at this thing, I'm gonna spiral out of control, I think. Well, good news, bad news. Good news, I got the zipper to work. It was a stabilization problem. The fabric was just too flimsy, flubbery. I don't know. It just like wasn't stiff enough. Couple of issues also. I don't know if you can like really tell. I don't know if you can really tell because like when I'm looking at it on the camera, the waistline looks like it might be pretty straight, but it's actually like very like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, because I think it looks a lot better like on film than it does in real life. In real life, it looks pretty mangy. I'm kind of losing the motivation to do like sew up the lining and like do it all the way. This is also keep happening. This is supposed to sit like a boat neck, right? Like here, but it keeps kind of turning into like a scoop neck. The other thing is I can't quite figure out how to finish off the zipper because it kind of just like, I don't know if you could see this like weird little dimple. It looks better than what it did now that it has that stabilizer in there, but yeah, I'm like slowly growing to like hate it. But yeah, so if the video ends just here, just know that means I gave up. I have no chill. I'm sewing the lining. Commit. Just commit. I already did most of the work. If it ends up ugly at the end, it ends up ugly. It's practice, right? It's fine. It's gonna be fine. hem of my dress. And now if I take my lining and put it right sides together on top of my outside fabric, and now when we place the lining around... I don't know if it's delusion, but I feel like adding the lining is going to save everything. Moment of truth. Okay, I think I finished sewing the lining. I don't think it's gonna save anything though. And I'm also not 100% sure I did it right, because not only is this the first time I've ever done a lining, this is also the first time I've ever had to do a lining with a zipper, and allegedly that's pretty difficult. So here it is. It's a mess. I have to try to figure out where the front of it is, I guess. Oh, is it literally that easy that you just flip it over like that? That can't be right. Hang on. Maybe just shove this in here. And I haven't hemmed it yet. That's the only thing that is left, because I was like, I'm not about to hem this. And then, shut up, I think that worked. Oh my god, I think that's lined. Wait. Oh my god. We're going to zip up the zipper and see if that works. And the zipper does kind of get stuck, so when I'm actually wearing it, it's a little difficult. So. It worked. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Look, you guys. And that is fully lined. Look, you can see, like if I were to put this inside out, like look at that. It's like it's the exact same. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now I just have to fix the hem part, because that's the only part that's like super ugly now. But it actually did kind of fix some parts. I did mess this part up because I got really confused on how to flip it around, because the tutorial is like a sweetheart neckline, and I could not, my brain was not working. It was not trying to figure out how to like get it to work. So I literally had to like try to hand sew it, which don't know how to do that. Tried to look up how to DIY that, found the ladder stitch, but you know, it's okay. Overall, it looks way better than what it did before. I wonder, you know what I think I'll do? I'll take a dress that I already know I like the length of. I'll measure it from arm side all the way to the hem and just get an idea of what that is. Maybe that'll kind of help me visualize this a little bit. Let's go from this seam because it's much smoother. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I can actually shorten this a shit ton. Yeah, I wasn't feeling confident, and I didn't come this far to fuck it up in the last hour. So I looked up a tutorial, and the lady recommended, so I pinned all of where basically I think it would fit, and then she recommended measuring from the ground up, which makes so much more sense because obviously the odds of the ground being more level than my seam line. Okie doke, I think that's good. So I'm going to hem this as well as the lining, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I think we're done. Oh, please, please, please let it be wearable outside. Welcome to my kitchen. It's the next day, and I know I said that today was try-on day, and it is, but I'm impulsive, and so last second I was like, I really want to try to dye the piece. So I bought a little Rit dye last night, and she's currently cooking. She's steaming. Apparently my hot water goes up to 137 degrees. You need 140 or greater, but I figured, listen, I'm just doing my best, okay? It says stir consistently for 30 minutes or until it is, oh, good thing I double checked because you're supposed to stir this consistently for like 30 minutes or up to an hour. 30 minutes? Oh my God. I didn't know dyeing was so manual. I thought it was just kind of like a sit it and forget it kind of thing, you know? It's hot. Wow, let me just say, I am so pleasantly surprised and blown away. It's insane. The dress came out so much better than I had thought. I really think dyeing it black is honestly what did it, because like, look at the difference. So like, I mean, I feel like that's really what's selling me. I mean, look at the material. I will say that in all fairness, there are definitely some construction issues. The lining, I think, is also what saved this dress. I'm not gonna lie. Before I had lined it, I was like, holy fuck, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, why isn't anything working out? It turns out, trust the process. Yeah, just trust the process. But to be fair, I'm very dramatic. And like, if things aren't going perfectly right off the bat, like I spiral out of control. And I know that about myself. At least I'm self-aware. I don't know if I feel comfortable wearing it out in public. I'm gonna be 100% because it is definitely a little wonky. Another piece too is the back. See how the back kind of like dips in almost like a V? That needs to be fixed. It's bugging me. I'm so excited. This dress took me 2 weeks to make though. That's why I didn't post a video last week, because I was still working on this dress. I could not get it. It was fighting me left, right, and center. Every single step I took, I hit a snag, which I guess that's the learning process, sure, but it's annoying. Like, why can't it be perfect? Why can't it be perfect right off the bat? I don't think that's too much to ask. At least now I have new skills to add to my repertoire. I've figured out how to do a lining, and between you and me, the amount of cheap clothing I have in my closet that would greatly benefit from being lined. I don't know. I'm thinking that might be a future project. I learned how to hem properly, so like measuring from the ground up. Why didn't I think of that? That's so smart and makes so much more sense. Oh, I learned a little bit more about these princess seams. It's a little difficult because obviously mine doesn't quite fit me as nicely. So now I kind of want to like work on this pattern and like figure out where exactly it needs to be fixed. I think that's pretty much everything that I learned in this one. I feel like with every new project, I'm learning something new, and it's just like, when I'm going through it, it makes me crazy. Like, I feel like I'm like, why would anybody want to do this? This is insane. But then it's so rewarding when it's done and I have like the finished garment and it like doesn't actually look that bad. Like, it looks good and it's so comfy because they're bed sheets. Anyway, I think that's all that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.